Hey friends, have you ever had one of those awkward moments with one of your parents? Perhaps it was something you weren't ready to tell them that almost gets revealed in the most painfully awkward way. Well, today's story is about one such occurrence from my late teens. My parents had moved us down to this small town in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. This was when I was in high school. It was one of those towns that just had a gas station, an ice cream parlor, and a tiny coffee shop. I'm not even kidding you, that was it. When I say small mountain town, I mean it was basically a bump in the road between Denver and Colorado Springs. Now, being a young queer growing up in such a small town can feel incredibly isolating. But I had a sanctuary. It was the internet. Ooh, big surprise there. Over the years, I met many other people just like me, in chat rooms, on forums, all over the place. It was the one thing that kept me sane in a way. And as I grew older and graduated high school, one of those friendships blossomed into an online relationship. Surprise, surprise! They were a furry. Who would have thought, right? I mean, look at me, I'm pretty darn furry. I'm pretty furry, right? We chatted every day on AIM. That's AOL Instant Messenger for folks who don't know. Oh wait, you don't know what AOL is? So, back in the day, there was these free floppy disks that you would get everywhere. You know what? I don't have time for this. It was like Discord, okay? It was like Discord. You just chat. Sometimes we would even call each other late at night on the landline. Oh my God, I feel so old right now. What the heck? Back to the story. I felt so special having such a kind person in my life. Something that they told me every single day as well. We felt like star-crossed lovers trapped on opposite ends of the country but bound by our love and isolation. A bright light in a sea of hostility. I mean, let's be real. Small towns are rarely queer-friendly in my experience. Now, it's important to note that at this point in my life, I had not come out to my parents yet about my orientation or my gender identity. I kept that part of myself really close to my heart. And I guarded it because, you know what, honestly, I didn't have the means to live on my own yet if things went poorly. This relationship was a secret. When asked about the late night calls, I would just make up a story and say, hey, I'm helping a friend on a project. All that time on the internet was, of course, college work, because what else would it be? Certainly not RPing with my internet boyfriend who just happened to be a really sexy bunny. I mean, what kind of weirdo would do that anyways? I think I would. It was me. Any time not spent at college, online, or on the phone, of course, I spent at work. My job? I was selling digital cameras at the Best Buy down in Colorado Springs. It was a bit of a drive for me because my truck, which could barely go 55 miles an hour, let alone the 75 miles an hour to go on the freeway, and it had 2 gas tanks. Listen, I'm not kidding. This thing was so slow, like you would hit the accelerator and it just starts shaking once it got to 55. So violently that it felt like you were gonna go off the road. By the way, I promise this all has a point to it. It is kind of relevant to the story, but just hang on. So our relationship crossed the 1-year anniversary. I still remember the cute text message I got while I was at work. It was something like, love you, hon, have a nice day, followed by a message that said, I hope you like the surprise I got you. What could it be? Maybe a fun game to play together. I didn't put much more thought into it other than that. About 2 hours into my shift, I get a text message from my mom. She says, hey, a package arrived for you. I smile, excited to see what it is when I get home. Now, I put my phone back in my pocket and get back to helping out some customers with their camera purchase. My phone buzzes again. This time, it was another I love you from my bunny boy. I smile just as I am trying to put my phone back into my pocket for the final time. I get a text message from my mom that was in all caps. Who would send you flowers? Who would send you flowers? Followed by, why would you get flowers? I am turning bright red, both flustered at the cute gesture from my boyfriend and mortified by the thought of trying to explain all this to my parents who were dangerously close to finding out. I get another text. The flowers, they have a note on them. Oh my God. I start texting my mom, trying to plead her to just leave the flowers alone and let me figure it out when I get home. Then I get the text. This is the moment I was dreading. Why does it say love your Bunbun on it? You know that feeling when you're on a roller coaster and it feels like the ground falls out from beneath you as the cart hurtles down to that big drop? It felt like that for me. I was just staring at this pixelated text on my Nokia phone. Now an attempted call. I don't answer and ask my manager if I can be excused from work early. I was legit feeling sick. This was crazy. How do I tell my parents that I'm dating some bunny guy on the internet? Hey mom, hey dad, I'm gay, oh, and I'm furry. Oh yeah, and I'm dating this person who I've never met IRL. Yeah, that's totally gonna go over well. I get into my truck and start the trek back home. My phone rings on and off the whole time I'm on the road. I pull into the driveway and my heart sinks further. Oh my God, my dad is home too. I guess it's conversation time. I get out of the truck and I walk up to the house. My mom and dad are sitting at the kitchen table. The flowers, a gorgeous bouquet of a dozen fine red roses sitting there. The lovely card is flat on the table. They both look at me puzzled by the roses. I smile, trying to form a sentence and then freeze. Before me are two paths. One where I tell my parents everything and I just come clean, or the second, where I just make up something weird, you know, like a story about the flowers. One guess which path I chose. What follows is the absurd story about how the flowers were actually a complicated joke about a mishap I'd had in one of my science classes. Bunbun was the Bunsen burner. The flowers, the flames, because of course. Why a dozen? Oh, you know, because it was the number of something from the experiment, I guess? The story was a mess that I doubt my parents actually believed for a second. Perhaps they were just feeling sorry for me, or just were tired of listening to me yap. They half-faked a laugh and let me deal with the flowers. I pretended to throw them away as my parents walked away, just to sell the total plausibility of the story and maintain my fragile masculinity at the time. But in fact, I hid them in my hoodie till I could get up to my room and hide them away. There's a certain sadness hiding something so special. My heart sank a little when I get a happy text from my bunny. "What do you think?" he says, followed by a little heart. I tell him everything that happened over AIM, and he comforts me. We spend the whole rest of the day just chatting with each other. While our relationship eventually ended, I kept a petal of the flowers with me for many, many years, as a reminder of that moment. A reminder to be fearless instead of running from who I am. So what's the moral of the story? Be you, be proud, and if you have a special bunbun on the internet, be sure to tell them to send things in a slightly more discreetly packaged, especially if you're living with your parents. Thank you so much for watching, friends. If you like this video, give it a like. Please drop your thoughts down in the comments section below. And if you want to help me create videos like these and keep making videos like these, please go check out my Patreon. It has lots of cool perks, like getting your name in the credits, like you might have seen earlier on in the video. Anyways, I hope you all have a fabulous day, friends. Goodbye.